Welcome to my channel, where we discuss everything and all things politics, economy, and development in Nigeria and around the world. One of the trending stories that emanated from that interview by the vice presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the last presidential election, Dr. Datti Baba-Ahmed. The interview he granted Arise Television on the last election and contemporary issues happening in Nigeria. One of the issues that came up, or the news that came out of that interview, was the trending story or the assertion by Datti Baba-Ahmed that P2B and he would defeat APC any day. This assertion, if you situate it from an unbiased perspective, you will agree with me that Datti Baba-Ahmed was right. This is because there are so many things that happen around that election that show that if that election was free and fair, if the rules were adhered to, Datti Baba-Ahmed, you cannot query his assertion. And you know, in that interview with Arise TV, he said that P2B and himself would defeat not just APC, but also PDP in any election. He noted that the APC and the PDP did not have 60% of the Labour Party votes in the Federal Capital Territory that they are ruling. Of course, he's correct. They didn't have up to 60% of the vote in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. And until Bola Ahmed Tinubu emerged the president of Nigeria, it used to be a must that you must get 25% of the vote cast in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Even the INEC officials, former officials, hammered on it that no matter what happened, for you to be declared the winner of the 2023 presidential election, you must get 25% in Abuja. But you know how they can end that up. So Datti Baba-Ahmed was right. If the goalpost was not changed in the middle of the game, Labour Party, Peter Obi and Datti Baba-Ahmed, they will beat APC. And even as Datti asserted, even in the next election, if there is a free and fair election, if they can get the United Nations to conduct the 2027 presidential election, there is no way United Nations will conduct it and then put all the necessary checks by the international community. Like if you are doing a referendum, I can tell you for free, Peter Obi will beat APC and PDP, hands down. So I agree with him. Now look at some of the things that Datti Ahmed said that we have to put into perspective. Datti Ahmed said, he said, so I'm never scared because we are in a democracy. It is people's power that we will use, and we are using it, not the armored tanks of the Nigerian army that belongs to the Nigerian people, and not the barrel of the gun or the tear gas that the Nigerian people are afraid. What he's saying that those who support them are the people of Nigeria, that they are more powerful. The people's will or the people's power is more powerful than the power that you get from whatever military or security services that are supporting you and that are behind whatever you are doing. The people's power. Of course, democracy is about government of the people, by the people, and for the people. So the people's power is what is important, and that's what is giving him confidence that they will beat APC and PDP any day. He said, look at what he said. He said, any day, if there is an election again, if they come out, we will defeat them. It is left for them to go and twist the constitution again, change the meaning of English, and declare by 4 a.m. The constitution was clear until this recent time that for you to be declared the president of the country, you must win 2/3 of the 36 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. But they twisted the meaning of the English language and what it means. And they told us a different thing altogether. And then, where else in the world have you ever seen that they declare the result of an election, an important election, a presidential election, by 4 a.m.? That's what he's alluding to. And you can't fault him. You can't fault him. That if they do a free and fair election, that they will win. But it's not left for them to change the constitution, to rewrite the English language, giving it a new meaning. And Datti Ahmed went forward to say, we won 2023 election. He said it. He said, we won 2023 election. He said the IRIF was switched off. They returned the result manually. And then the constitution was twisted. And the English language was changed. We won the 2023 election. I will never stop saying it, Datti Baba-Ahmed declared. Now, can you fault what he said here? Even Lai Mohammed, the former Minister of Information, told the world in Washington, D.C., that INEC, that federal government deliberately switch off the transmission of the result. That is what Datti Baba-Ahmed is saying here. They switched off. He said the IRIF was switched off. Why did they switch it off? Why did they feel? It has now been alleged that it was because of Peter Obi and the Labour Party that they switched it off. So you can't fault Datti Baba-Ahmed's assertion. Why did they switch it off? Because even the Amazon Web Services that provided the backbone for the INEC service, for the INEC IRIF, said there was no threat at all throughout that day. No threats to the INEC website or INEC electronic web connection at all. They say if there was, it would have been reported. And Amazon Web Service is an international agency that provides platform for governments around the world, because they know what it means if there is any hint that they fail in protection of a particular document, like INEC results. It was a lie. The INEC Web Services official that was brought even to the court confirmed there was no threat at all. But the federal government of Nigeria deliberately switched it off, and they admitted it. So by the admission of the government that conducted that election, is there any wonder that Datti Baba-Ahmed has a right to insist that if they had not switched off that they did, that they were having a runaway victory and that they won the election? Who can fault this assertion by Datti Baba-Ahmed? If you are fair-minded individual, you have not been bought over, who can fault this assertion? Why did they switch off the IRIF? Why did they switch it off? Lai Mohammed confirmed that they switched it off. INEC was dilly-dallying, telling us, first of all, INEC said there was no problem with the transmission of the results, that there was just mere glitches. Really? Mere glitches. But the government of the day said they switched it off. And I like the way Datti Baba-Ahmed said, he said, we won the 2023 election, and I will never stop saying it. And he will never stop saying it. And he's not the only person who is concerned about this. The former chairman of INEC, Professor Tahiru Jega, has also alleged that desperate politicians infiltrated the two technological systems introduced by INEC for the accreditation and the electronic transmission of votes in the last election. That is Professor Jega, who handed over to Mahmoud Jega, the current INEC chairman. He alleged that desperate politicians, who are those desperate politicians who infiltrated the two technological systems? Who are those? Is it the PDP people? Is it the Labour Party people? Who are those desperate politicians who have the capacity to infiltrate the two technologies? Jega didn't give us more detail, but Jega insisted that INEC owes Nigerians an explanation on the failure of IRIF that day, especially in the presidential election. Have INEC given you any explanation? Instead, what they did was to rush to the courts to be defending the indefensible. And at the end of the day, because of them and the courts, they certified the election. The Supreme Court ruled that the INEC can use any system. This was the same INEC, Mahmoud Jega, that was telling us on February 23, February 22, 2023, that 2023, yes, about 5 days to the election, he was assuring Nigerians that the election figures will be transmitted electronically. He said, look, he said presiding officers will be required to use beavers to snap the election result sheets from each polling unit and upload them on INEC result viewing portal, that's ARIF, for Nigerians to see in real time. Is that what they did? Of course, that's not what they did. They were able to transmit the National Assembly election that was held at the same day, the same time, the same minute, the same hour, the same second. But the presidential election, the most important of all the elections, that is the one they couldn't transmit. Who is fooling who? Datti Baba-Ahmed is right. Datti Baba-Ahmed and Peter Obi, they can beat APC anytime. And they beat them in 2023. I have no doubt about it, because if you follow this channel, all the opinion polls, over 15 opinion polls that was done, all of them was shown that Peter Obi is going to win. Despite the fact that this is a man they say had no structure, but all the opinion polls, they got it right. Those who are deriding Peter Obi say, why is he going to get involved? Even Southeast people will not vote for him. They saw that Peter Obi won so many states. And that was because of, if not for the alleged manipulation that Datti Baba-Ahmed was talking about, he would have had a runaway victory. Nobody can dispute that, because if you can dispute that, you must give explanation. INEC must give explanation about those that infiltrated the two technologies, according to Jega. And INEC must also give explanation on who ordered for the switching off of the ARIF. And then tell us, and then the courts should tell us why there was a change in the meaning of that section of the Constitution that said that for you to be declared president, you must win 25% of the vote cast in 36 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. They now told us that it doesn't matter. And that was why Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the only president that had been elected in Nigeria's history without getting 25% in Abuja. Everything has to be bent backward for APC to win and retain their position. Datti Baba-Ahmed was right. You can't fault his position on this. And I agree with him. If the 2027 presidential election holds on as planned, Peter Obi and Datti Baba-Ahmed will beat them again. And then, like Datti Baba-Ahmed said, they can go ahead and change the constitution. They can go ahead and declare result by 4 a.m. They can go ahead and do all kinds of things and switch off the ARIF again. That's the only thing they can do. They can't win a free and fair election, because the truth of the matter remains that Nigerian people suffered a lot under the APC in the last 8 years. That was why if you look at the votes that was cast, almost 15 million votes was against Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Only 8.7 million votes, the so-called, that INEC used in declaring him the winner of the election. You can see that the overwhelming majority of Nigerians voters didn't want him to be president. 15 million voted against Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Only 8.7 million, almost double. That was why when he was declared, there was no celebration, there was no excitement in the air. It was as if there was a gloom all over the country. That gloomy situation is yet to leave the nation. And now things have gotten from bad to worse. From the naira that he met at 460 naira at the official window, and 760 naira, 680 naira, 780 naira at the black market, to what we have today, of naira reaching up to 2,000 naira to the dollar. That is the price that we pay when the unpopular people are elected, are chosen to run affairs of the country. Datti Baba-Ahmed is right. And I believe that they can beat these people again in 2027 if there is a free and fair election. If you are in doubt, let external people conduct the election in 2027. If we can get the United Nations to come and conduct it and do away with INEC, I can tell you for free that Peter Obi and Datti Baba-Ahmed will win, as Datti rightly pointed out. But they can still win if Nigerians decide to defend their vote in 2027. If Nigerians say enough is enough of all the shenanigans of the APC and defend their vote as they should, APC will be forced to back away and allow the choice of the Nigerian people to prevail. And what Baba-Ahmed said will become will manifest to the excitement of majority of Nigerians that voted for them in 2023. And then in 2027. It's possible. It is possible. I tell you for free, it is possible. What he said about them having the capacity to beat APC and PDP is true. If not for that, if it is not so, they will not have even bothered to switch off the electronic transmission of the results. But they know what will happen if that result was not switched off. Datti Baba-Ahmed is right. They won the 2023 presidential election if it was free and fair. Thank you for watching this video. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, God will rank it high and recommend it for more people. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.